joining us today on the Three-Man Blitz. I'd just like to take a moment to remind you to follow us on Twitter at Three-Man Blitz. Visit us at www.threemanblitz.com. You can listen to us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcast, Breaker. And don't forget to view us on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Hey guys, welcome into another episode of the Three-Man Blitz College Edition. You got me, Jeremy, you got Queasy, you got Andrew. Say what's up, fellas.
What's up?
What's up? So we're going to go over a couple of key topics, I think, for the college football world right now. But before we do that, we're going to get a couple of drinks in us. So we've already been kind of hitting the sauce a little bit. I got me some whiskey.
I like sauce.
He likes the sauce. All right. So,
and my drink's thanks to a friend of the show.
Who was it? I didn't hear it. I just see you drinking it.
I said it's thanks to a friend of the show.
Okay, you didn't want to name.
What's that in there? Is that cinnamon stick in there? What is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope it's a cinnamon stick. It don't look appetizing, whatever it is.
It's a cinnamon stick. It's nice. It's nice.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
All right, so we're going to start this one off with you, Queasy. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Notre Dame took down Clemson 47-40 in overtime without Trevor Lawrence, of course, because of COVID. Do you think the outcome would have been different had he played? And is Notre Dame for real?
Now, let me be upfront. I despise Notre Dame.
No.
Yes.
You don't say.
You don't say.
Sometimes even more than Ohio State, but I despise Notre Dame.
Okay.
Now, let me say this. They're always tough every year. This isn't a surprise to see them go head-to-head and be nose-to-nose with Clemson. So I honestly do think, though, that Clemson is the better team, and I think they would have won if they had Trevor Lawrence. I do think they would have beat them. But that's not taking anything away from Notre Dame. But with saying that also, I do not think they're worth being ranked number 2 as they are right now. They haven't played anybody. They haven't beaten anybody. At least Clemson can say they beat Miami, which is always a tough team. Who else? They beat Virginia, which is always a tough team in the ACC. So they can at least put out those 2 teams right now. But so I'm glad it was a tough game. I'm glad it was a good game, and it still had to go into 2 overtimes with a backup, in a sense, quarterback.
Yeah, that freshman.
You know?
The freshman
Yeah.
looked good too, man.
He's their backup, but he's also their future. So I mean, the experience was definitely great for him. Definitely. And I mean, he's a 5-star kid. You know, he's one of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, coming to Clemson, and I'm sure he already got the heads up that, hey, Trevor's leaving out the window, so you're next. So I would come to that school. What I'm getting at, if I'm a high range quarterback, because I know it'll be my show soon. So I'm sure he did his thing, and I know he did his thing. Like I said, he did very well against a tough Notre Dame team. But should they be ranked number 2? No. In the top 10, yes. Other than that,
of course, the flip side I would have to at least bring up the point is I honestly thought even with Trevor Lawrence out, and we spoke about it on the last episode, that Clemson would handle Notre Dame. I thought the defense would be good enough, but Notre Dame showed up, man. I don't know, and I don't like Notre Dame either. Something about them never being in a conference and always handpicking who they play every year, like it just it doesn't sit right with me. Like, join a conference.
Exactly.
Join a conference. And of course now they're playing ACC schools this year, but it's just for this year.
Yeah, but yeah.
Whatever. All right. Anyway. And hopefully Trevor Lawrence will be back this upcoming week.
Definitely.
And then we'll see him. And
love watching that kid play.
Yeah, no doubt. And there's a very good chance that they'll see each other again in the ACC championship game.
Definitely. And of course he should be playing then. And I think we'll just see a different story then.
No doubt. ETN let me down, by the way. All right. Andrew.
Whew.
So just so you guys know.
Lord have mercy.
I've already I got the vapors. I've already told Andrew, I've told them all what the questions were going to be, but Andrew did not react kindly to his question.
I hate you.
Yeah, well, I figured you would. Haven't seen Florida topple Georgia 44-28. Would you say that Florida is legit? And what chance do they have winning out the regular season and presumably the SEC championship game?
Okay. So I'm going to take your questions and I'm going to reverse them. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at their schedule real quick and I'm going to show you what's going on.
Okay.
So let's see. Where's it at? I had to pull up here. Okay. They have Arkansas this weekend. And, of course, they gave up their bye weekend with COVID. They had 2 weeks off.
You were talking about Florida?
Yeah.
They did have 2 weeks.
They had 2 weeks off for the COVID deal.
Okay.
And supposedly they weren't supposed to be able to practice or anything, so like a complete facility shutdown.
Yeah, come on.
But anyway, so they've got Arkansas coming up, and then they've got Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Tennessee, and then the game that's going to be tacked on at the end of the season, December 12th, LSU, which is their cross-divisional rival. That game's always fun. Okay, so I think they can run the table here. But where you run into a potential issue is when you run into either Alabama or Texas A&M possibly again if Alabama actually falls during the regular season. Either one of those teams, I think, don't really. I don't think they're going to have a problem handling Florida. Now, let me explain why. They whipped Georgia. They absolutely whipped us. There's no denying it. I've got the breakdown here. The first half of the game. The first quarter, they put up 14 points. The second quarter, they put up 24, and that was to our 14 and then 7 points. So we fell in a hole going into halftime, no doubt about it. But after that, whenever we made some adjustments and came out after halftime, Florida kicked 2 field goals for the rest of the game. That was it. Georgia only scored 1 touchdown, though. Our offense let us down. We definitely should have come back and won this game. And if we had a quarterback, I think we would have.
You should have tried some different cologne.
You're right.
Instead of Stetson.
Let me say.
Or count, make sure the mailman brings the mail correctly.
Mailman did not bring the mail. But he did find some extra points after the game was over, so we actually won. Election joke there. Election joke. Politics is in everything. Just get over it. But so is Florida for real? Yeah. But we made their offense one-dimensional, and they didn't really do jack crap the second half. And I think that their defense is not as good as you would think. Our offense is just absolute trash. So when they run into that Alabama brick wall, I don't think it's going to be pretty. That'll put them in a 2-loss team. I don't think they end up making the college football playoff. But if they beat Alabama or they come back and beat Texas A&M, if by some miracle they happen to make it to the SEC championship game, then by all means they absolutely deserve to go to the college football playoff.
Yeah, first of all, Texas A&M, they're not making it to the college football playoff because unless Alabama loses a game somewhere along the way, they've already lost to Bama. So I don't see that happening personally.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get there later, I think, in the conversation. But, Kyle Trask, he was 30 for 43, 474 yards passing. Ugh. 4 passing touchdowns to 1 interception. He had a 97.4 quarterback rating. That's not too bad. The rushing game wasn't fantastic, but they didn't try to rush the ball a whole lot. Pierce had 15 carries for 52 yards and a touchdown, and that was their only rushing touchdown of the day. Longest run was 10 yards. But Georgia had a lot of injuries on defense, so normally I don't think we would have even given up that many rushing yards to a team like Florida. But, as far as receiving goes, we were able to shut down Kyle Pitts for the most part. He only had 2 receptions on the game, but those 2 receptions went for 59 yards and a touchdown. So, when he gets the ball in his hands, he's something else. He absolutely is.
I think he got hurt in that game.
He did. I don't remember if he came back in or not, but I remember there was a point where it was actually the play he scored a touchdown on, where he went up for the ball, and the Georgia defender was basically riding his back. I don't remember who was covering him on that play, but he was basically all over him. And Kyle Pitts just reached up and grabbed the ball and just jerked it out of the air like, this is mine, and just threw the defender off of him and walked into the end zone. They threw the flag on the ground. I was like, that's useless. What's the point in that? But even when Kyle Pitts isn't really going off, they have other guys. Like Davis had 5 receptions for 100 yards. They have other guys.
They have an aerial attack, and that's one of the things that I would say. And I hate Florida. I don't like Florida. I'm a Tennessee guy. But if they did make it, and presumably they will, presumably they'd play Alabama. But, Alabama does not defend the pass very well, and that's what Florida does very well. So that game, if it does in fact happen, would be like God, it might be over 100 combined points.
Well, I'm just saying Alabama is definitely the more complete team.
I agree. I don't disagree at all. Yep.
Hands down.
All right.
But I mean, yeah.
All right.
That's what I got on them.
All right. So this question's for both of you. We'll move on. I
Florida
don't like
beat
talking about
Georgia.
They did. It was bad.
Shut up.
I can't.
You're a Michigan fan. I don't want to hear anything out of you.
Exactly.
All three of us are kind of in
talk.
some misery right now. Okay.
Anybody want to drink?
Yeah, I'm going to drink on that one real fast now. Okay, going into week 11.
Yeah.
And of course, this is the normal week 11, what it should be. SEC, ACC,
Yes.
It's all different. So just plug and play where you will.
Week whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever. Who is your Heisman front runners at this point? And either Queasy, you answer first since Andrew just.
Of course, I still like Trevor Lawrence as number one. I was like way above everybody. He's outstanding, and he's been shining for multiple years now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he should be that dude. We have Mac Jones out of Alabama. He's been playing awesome too. Of course, those are two teams that's been super dominant throughout the year so far. So I think those guys are well above everybody else. Najee Harris of Alabama been, of course, doing his thing.
He's been
But I'm gonna throw in this little outlier because I don't want to take all the players away from Andrew here. I'm gonna throw a little outlier here.
Okay.
Derek King,
King.
quarterback from Miami.
Dude,
All right.
He's been killing it. He's been doing his thing since he was playing in Houston, and he came there to Miami, and he's been doing his thing. The only thing he hasn't done is wear the turnover chain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Other than that, he's been killing it.
They give him time, right?
I think for that to happen, he would have to somebody would have to fumble the ball, and then the other team would have to pick it up, and then he would have to force the fumble again.
I'm just saying this man's done everything there, and he's doing very well. So,
all right,
I'm
Andrew.
not saying it's out of the realm of possibility, but piggybacking on what Queasy said, I agree with a lot of those guys. Mac Wilson, Najee Harris, I'm going to go ahead and call him a dark horse, but I really like him for the Heisman as far as running backs go. There's not really anybody else I would necessarily put in that category, I don't believe. I would like to talk about Justin Fields, unfortunately. So all my fellow Georgia fans, just cover your ears real quick. They've played, 2 games?
Yeah, it ain't been much.
2 games. He's got 908 passing yards. 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 2 games. Justin Fields is that guy.
Making up for lost time, buddy.
My God, he is. Justin Fields is a monster. And Queasy, I guess you cover your ears too, being a Michigan guy. But
exactly
through 2 games, he's got 72 completions on 83 attempts. He's got an 86.7 completion rate. That is insane. He has He has 11 incompletions. That's stupid.
That is stupid.
That's stupid. And then, of course, you got to talk about – I'm going to get to these guys more later as well. But Zach Wilson out of BYU, their quarterback, he's putting up ridiculous numbers too. He's at least just worth a mention. He's got 166 completions, 221 attempts, 75% completion rate. He looks pretty good. 22 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. I think the fact that he's able to put it up like this and still be accurate enough to take care of the ball should speak volumes.
He's done well.
His quarterback ability. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
One other guy who would probably be at the top of the list is Kyle Trask.
Kyle Trask is being slept on.
The quarterback who demolished Georgia.
Before this
he probably
week,
jumped above everybody right now.
Before this week, he had thrown through 5 games. He had thrown 18 touchdown passes or something like that, and that was pretty solid for a Florida quarterback for sure.
Definitely, man. I'm messing with you, Andrew, but yeah, he is.
But for real,
he is doing his thing. He is doing his thing.
I hate you, but I can't argue.
All right. A couple other guys maybe to talk about. Desmond Ryder from Cincinnati. He might be up in there. A lot of these guys aren't going to get the love. I think we all pretty much think it's going to be a quarterback, right? It usually always
has to be a quarterback. I think Spencer Rattler's even in the talk too, but
there's no way he'd beat out these other guys.
I know where it won't be from though.
Yeah.
It won't be from Oklahoma.
Nope. This year it will not be an Oklahoma guy.
Or Georgia. We don't even know who our starting quarterback is. Yeah.
We'll get there, buddy. All right, so let's go into the college football playoffs just a little bit. Maybe a generic question, but it will be coming out pretty soon. They'll start having their predictions and their projections. What 4 teams do you guys see currently going into the college football playoffs?
I got Alabama. Clemson is I still have Clemson as number 1. Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and right now I got Florida, man.
Mm-hmm.
I got Florida in there.
We'll slide in there. The SEC hater. How many times, Queasy, have you and I had this discussion, and you're going to put 2 SEC schools in there? All right. I like it, though. Okay. Except that I hate both teams. But
Agreed. Alabama's absolutely going to make the playoffs. I've got them beating Florida in the SEC championship. So I've got Florida slipping to 2 losses, keeping them out of the college football playoffs. So Notre Dame, I think when Trevor Lawrence comes back and these 2 teams will eventually meet in the ACC championship, I think that Clemson will put the hurt on Notre Dame. I really do. I think it's going to be a big loss. And I think it might just slide them right out of the talk. So I'm looking at Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, and like I said, Texas A&M. If they're a 1-loss team, it's hard to argue, man.
It'd be tough. I would also say I think it's going to be Alabama clear-cut 1. Notre Dame, even with I'm with you 100%. I think that Clemson and Notre Dame do face each other ACC championship game. I think it's a close game. Notre Dame loses. Clemson makes it in. Notre Dame slips in at 4. Ohio State does enough and wins out more than likely to finish at 3, and leaving Texas A&M hoping, on the outside.
I have noticed that we are sleeping on the Pac-12. There's no mention of Oregon. So
we'll get there. They just started. We'll get there with go for it or punt. But here's another question for you guys. Yeah. Does any team on the outside of the top 6 even have a chance? And the top 6 right now is Alabama, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Clemson, Texas A&M, Florida. So 7 would be Cincinnati. Then you got BYU.
Hey, man,
we know what we're talking about.
Okay, I'll go for it. Throw it out there.
All right, Queasy, spit, Queasy.
Anybody have a chance?
I would say, I like that Big 12 too. Oklahoma State, tough team. You don't want to play against them.
Okay,
I think they're right around 8, 9.
They're sitting at 14 right now.
Currently at 14.
Okay,
8, 9, 14.
But I do think they're a very tough team. Once the season keeps on going on and their wins keep on mounting, I think they will be up there. Also, once again, I would put Miami up there. They're in the division right now, in a conference right now with Notre Dame and Clemson, so that's gonna make it very tough for them. But I think that they can't be slept on.
Ooh, I feel you on the Miami thing, and I mean, imagine this: same situation as Texas A&M. Miami actually doesn't make it to their championship game, even as well as they played. You have 3 really dominant teams in that conference. If Miami's sitting there at 9-1, they're only lost to Clemson. Who's to say they're any better or any worse than Notre Dame?
Yeah, that's a toughie, man.
But my team, though, I'm in their corner all the way. I've been singing their praises. I really like BYU, man. Really like BYU. I like them a lot better than 2017 UCF.
Yeah, it'd be hard to keep BYU out if they're undefeated, and they probably will be. Who knows?
They're a very complete team.
Losses. How you can justify slipping a one-loss team above a BYU team?
Well, let me ask you: if you're on the college football playoff committee and you're weighing between Notre Dame, Miami, Texas A&M, and BYU, what are you doing?
I mean, honestly, I'm probably not taking BYU.
Exactly, but I'm saying they should. I'm in their corner. They look very good, man, and they absolutely beat the brakes off of Boise State this past weekend. I'm all in on their corner, man. I'm in there.
If I remember right, the Boise State was on a third string quarterback or something. They were something.
Well, I mean, same thing as Clemson though. One player doesn't make a team.
I don't know. Sometimes the quarterback does make a huge difference.
One player doesn't make a team, brother.
Yeah, say what you will. I don't think the Boise State win's like impressive, but whatever. And you know it's a win, right? But that does slide in and transition in. So, should the College Football Playoff Committee expand the field?
Yes.
And what format would you choose?
Just yes to all of it.
I have my answer, obviously. My answer is obviously also yes, but
I think they should expand the field definitely. What format? I'm not sure. Definitely, I'll say like 8 teams, but kind of go from there.
You took the words right out of my mouth. 8 teams, 1 spot for every conference champion, and 3 at-large teams. Boom, easy. Simple.
The major 5. That's exactly, and we've all talked about it probably a ton. It just makes a ton of sense. Your major 5 conferences, your Power 5 conferences, conference championships, and 3 at-large teams, and that would leave anybody that should be in the breadth of the conversation to have their way in. BYU wins out. They're not in the Power 5 conferences. Guess what? They could be in there. Any at-large team. You got a couple
they get their
lost teams.
Yeah.
I don't see why they haven't done it yet. And this would have been the perfect year to do it.
Yeah.
It's a crazy year anyway. Why not go ahead and just throw it out there? Your bowl games are ridiculous anyway. You got 4-win teams that are going to have options to play bowl games.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come on.
Agreed.
Come on, son.
But I mean, I wouldn't even hate going to 12 teams. But I mean, with 8 teams, you could just swallow up more New Year's 6 games there, and just keep climbing.
Right, 12 teams would be too much. And I'm only saying that because, again, it's just playoffs, so guys will have to play again and again and again and again.
I mean, 12 teams may be too much, but I'm never complaining about more football.
I think at most, I think you would do 10 teams and you'd have 2 teams on like a bye. But I like
maybe like number 1 and number 2.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like the bye.
8 is the way to go. I agree. But
yeah.
All right. So let's wrap this thing up with punt or pass. Go for it or punt, whatever. We've been kind of knocking it around.
4th down, baby.
4th down, baby. Let's go for it. All right, Michigan, Harbaugh, and the state of the program. Punt or pass?
I don't like the word Michigan and state in the same sentence. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sorry about that.
And program and Harbaugh.
I will definitely go for it. Michigan's my team. I love my team always. But they definitely need to punt on Harbaugh. You know what I'm saying? And this has got to be the year that they let him out. Make it graceful, make it nice, whatever you got to do. But definitely got to go. Their corners are horrible. I'm talking about. I've seen quarterbacks throw ducks out there, Hail Marys out there in the corner, and every wide receiver has caught it on these cornerbacks. They are horrible.
Yeah.
So if this is not their year, they've been destroyed in every aspect of the word. So I just got to take it.
And they paid him a ton of money too.
Yeah. So again, do it graceful. It's save face for everybody and just like bow out. Let him do his thing.
Okay, so I'm gonna go for it on this one, and I'm gonna make it short and sweet. I know that sources are spitting out that Harbaugh's getting some attention from a couple of NFL teams, mainly the Jets. Maybe they're gonna get rid of. I mean, definitely. Don't get me wrong. Harbaugh would definitely be an improvement over Adam Gase. I mean,
my dog would be an improvement.
Your dog would be an improvement over Adam Gase. So if you're Michigan, if he's getting this kind of talk here, if he takes another job, you don't have to pay him. So work it out. Let your lawyers work it out. Let him go. And there are going to be plenty of good coaches available after this season, I believe. Maybe you could even call down a coordinator from the NFL, something like that. You're a college football blue blood. There's something to do.
I don't care if he's a janitor at Wendy's after this season, bro. As long as he's not.
Hey, I feel you on that. I don't care what your pedigree is. I don't care what you did. Just win.
Can you coach?
Just win. Develop talent, recruit, and win. Win. Just win.
Developing talent.
Like Al Davis said, just win, baby. Just win.
Especially against your rivals, bro. You got to do that.
Come on. All right. Let's move on. Georgia / quarterback battle. Anything you want to talk about, Andrew, in Georgia?
Oh, there's a lot I want to talk about. Okay.
So
I'm seeing a trend here. I'm seeing a trend. I'm going to try to make it short and sweet because I want to go into this definitely more on my Damn Good Dog show.
And go.
Number 1, Justin Fields, what happened there? He left. He is now like one of the Heisman frontrunners, probably the best college football player in the country. Number 2, Jacob Eason, 5-star quarterback. You pulled him in your first season, Kirby, and he transferred out after an injury because you wanted to start Jake Fromm, who went in the 5th round of the NFL draft to be a clipboard carrier for the Buffalo Bills. Yeah. Number 3, Jamie Newman, guy out of Wake Forest, came in with a ton of hype, and then he opts out for COVID, right before fall camp starts. Something's going on here. He saw something at Georgia that he didn't like, whether it be with quarterback development, whether it be with the way the quarterback room was being handled. And then we have 5-star JT Daniels come in, transfer from USC because he lost his starting job, and he's been riding the pine for 6, 8 weeks, however many weeks we in. Are we? I can't even talk. I'm so mad. No.
He's sitting behind DeJuan Mathis. I mean, come on.
We lost to Alabama because the mailman shat the bed in the second half. Then we didn't pass the ball against Kentucky because you say we didn't have to, but could we? Could we have passed the ball against Kentucky? And then Florida just straight up blew us out of the water because our defense was doing their job in the second half and stopping them, but we couldn't pass the ball. We couldn't complete passes. We were overthrowing dudes. DeJuan Mathis looked bad.
Looks terrible.
Stetson Bennett looked bad, and we've got a 5-star on the bench, a guy who's supposed to be that dude.
He's not healthy.
I don't trust your judgment. He is healthy. Kirby said in the press conference he was healthy. I do not trust your judgment at quarterback. You need to change something up, bud.
Glad that was short.
Sorry, guys.
I had you at 27 minutes.
You know what I'm saying? I kind of stopped listening after shot the bed. Shot the bed.
He shot the bed. So I'm taking that, Quizzy, as you're punting.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna say this much.
Okay.
I hope you're not going to sit here and adopt Justin Fields as you did Jalen Hurts again.
Oh,
we in Alabama, man. That's the thing. We failed Justin Fields. He is a Georgia boy from Kennesaw, but he is an Ohio State quarterback.
That's true. All right, let's move on. We talked a little bit about this. Pac-12. Did anybody notice that they've started playing football? I'll wait.
I saw USC on when I was changing channels.
No.
I honestly didn't even realize. I was flipping through scores and was like, oh my God, I can't. Did they start playing?
Punt.
Yeah.
Punt.
Interesting.
Punt.
All right, and last but not least, coaches on the hot seat. Any coaches that you think are now on the hot seat and that are going to be fired, and take it from there. However,
not Harbaugh. They're giving him an extension.
Oh Lord, they gave Pruitt a freaking extension.
Definitely Harbaugh. I don't want to say Oklahoma, even though they're having an ugly year. And I don't definitely not LSU because they have an ugly year. I think it's going to be outliers for them. So I think they'll give their coaches some time and don't want to blame all on coaches. So
yeah,
I think they'll be back. So
they'll give Ed Orgeron the. Yes. They'll give him. He's got an extended leash. He just won a national championship.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
I know Andrew's got one. If he doesn't say it, I will.
Well, I mean, I was actually going to punt on this one because it's the same guys we're talking about every year. You know, Gus Malzahn, he's in, he's out. Will Muschamp, you know.
Muschamp. I've been hearing it. Muschamp's more than likely going to be fired. And then all I've been hearing here lately, especially being a Tennessee fan, for whatever reason, I know there's one big reason, is Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze is catching fire like crazy about him coming back to the SEC and coaching. And it's because he's coaching at Citadel and they're in the top 25.
Okay.
But, I mean, come on, man. He had a bunch of wins vacated, whatever. I think the Muschamp thing's done in South Carolina, though.
Agreed.
Anyways, guys, you got anything else you want to add in?
No, sir.
We wrap it up here?
No, he's coaching at Liberty, and they're in the top 25.
What did I say? Citadel?
Citadel,
yeah. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Kyle Trask beat the brakes off of okay. As you said, one player don't make the team, but Kyle Trask beat the brakes off of Georgia.
I got two words. For you, Quizzy. Michigan State.
Oh. I just like the fact that you guys are tearing each other apart and my team's not even in your mouth. All right. As always, make sure that you subscribe, hit the bell, hit the likes, leave us some comments, leave us some questions, and as always, go for 3.
Go for 3, baby.